Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Astrospirit YouTube channel. My name is Michael, and I'm so happy to start this journey with you all on sharing the wisdom of astro spirituality in order to help inspire, improve, and provide people with information that's going to help their lives and others. So, what is astro spirituality? Astrospirituality uses astrological and spiritual knowledge and wisdom to help you understand yourself, others, and humanity in relationship to purpose, self mastery, and the 99% reality, and therefore understanding those influences to transform and uplevel your life. And the philosophy that I subscribe to around this is that astrology is not fatalistic. It sets up the energetic backdrop of your life, or the birth chart does, specifically, and that's specifically crafted to help you enable you to become the best and most expressed version of your soul. And it's to the degree that you raise your consciousness to meet that potential, it's to that degree that you fulfill that prophecy. And that's like really important, because I think there's a lot of times where you'll see, certain things and you'll think that that's it for me. And so it disempowers you. It doesn't give you the understanding of how you can sort of have a helicopter view past that roadblock. That's kind of the way that I look at this philosophy and kind of employ it to myself and others who I work with. Before we get started, you can find me on aquariusconversations.com if you'd like to have a specific, an individual reading. And I've launched a podcast with the same name, which is on Spotify, where we delve into more specific topics around work and relationships, understanding astrological and energetic backdrops around what's going on in the year, again, to help you transform or up-level your life. So I thought it was a really good time to launch this YouTube channel, as we are now today with the new moon in Aquarius and Pluto in Aquarius and the sun in Aquarius, and therefore at the sort of beginning of this now Aquarius age, to kind of launch this, because I think it's going to be a really interesting year for many people and the globe generally. And so what I wanted to do was sort of give my perspective on what I feel could be helpful for everybody to sort of get a perspective and understanding on, and where that can apply to your life. So before we get moving to what's happening this year, let's have a quick recap on sort of the last, well, almost 15 years really, when Pluto was transiting the sign of Capricorn, which has now come out of for a generation. So for those who don't understand, Pluto is the planet which is furthest away from the sun, takes it the longest to go around the sun, and generally, depending on kind of what sign it is, it takes 15 to 20-ish years to move through each sign. And because of that, it has such massive implications for the wider society and changes generally when it moves, depending on what sign it's in. So we've moved, so it's coming to Aquarius, but in Capricorn, where Capricorn rules things like hierarchies and archaic structures and history and power over. We saw Pluto, which is the planet of transformation amongst many things, we dismantle a lot of those things. So if we remember when Pluto went into Capricorn in 2008, what did we see then? We saw the banking crisis happen like then, and then changes in the way that financial institutions worked and were able to kind of do their work. There's more regulations put on them. Throughout that period of time, we've seen, sex scandals being revealed. We've had the Me Too movement. We've had secrets exposed at the heart of governments. We've had old structures like royal families around the world change in the way that they are and how they're seen. And even in the UK, one of the oldest institutions, the post office, finally had one of the oldest scandals within its organisation revealed. Or long-standing, should I say, revealed. And those are just some of a few things which have happened, which is reflective of sort of Pluto tearing up what doesn't work, and kind of opening up to what does. And so that's what Pluto does. If things are not working, it will really come in and kind of dismantle it, destroy it to to build it again. And that's why we should be thinking about Pluto in our lives as well. So now it's in the sign of Aquarius until 2043. It's going to go back into Capricorn this year between the 1st of September and the 23rd of November for a short period, and then it goes back into Aquarius until 20. We are really now in this age is going to be really, really interesting because Aquarius is very, very different to Capricorn. The old ruler of Aquarius is Saturn, but it's ruled by the new rulership of Uranus, and that's really about freedom. It's about no sort of centers, no boundaries, being unique, and kind of like having a higher sense of consciousness to humanity. We really are at the stage where we'll see a lot of change. I just want to sort of break down some of the things that we'll start to see this year, and some of the themes that we'll see over the coming years. This year specifically, we will start to see a more of an uptake and embracing of innovation. We've already started to see that a little bit last year when Pluto was in Capricorn, Aquarius for a bit, when AI started to blow up for those few months. We also saw a crash within the crypto system at that time, and we may see something similar and an expansion of that this year, digital currencies, etc. Moving forward, going to be about how do you embrace innovation and doing things, but in a very sort of technical first way. For you, it's really thinking about how do you yourself embrace that in a way that doesn't feel restrictive. If you try to not go with the flow and try to restrict it, it will be quite painful. Think about like where in your life things need to kind of like change, things need to kind of be set free. The other thing is about community. So Aquarius is really about who is around me, and how can I facilitate and be a participant in that community, and how can that help the collective. So we are going to start to see more communities come together. There may also be communities who want to kind of stay further apart. There's also polarity in these things. Think about who are the people around you that are helping you to feel good, and who is helping you to kind of move yourself forward and transform. That could be different groups, not the same groups. And that's really going to be a theme around the world. The third thing is around disruption. There are lots and lots of, particularly within the tech industry, like jobs going, as we sort of see people being made redundant. And that's happening in other industries as well because of technological advances. It's really important to start thinking about like, okay, so what could I do in the future? What things on the side could I start to develop, which could potentially like drive income? How can I make efficiencies in certain things as well? Do I like what I'm doing? Think about how could I disrupt proactively what's going on within my environment in order to embrace what is to come in terms of like complete change. What worked before for the last years is not going to work for the next part of your life. So it's really about thinking about your consciousness in a new way. The other thing to be really mindful of is authenticity as well. Aquarius really is about marching to the beat of its own drum and being really unique. So conforming and kind of being clones of things is not conducive to the energy that we're in. It's really about being your unique self, and we'll start to see that as well in the way that people really want to stand up for people who are marginalized and help to build communities around. Is about people power. Remember that with all of these things there is a darker side, a negative side, where we will find people who because Aquarius is so advanced, can be quite in the future. Remembering the heart and consciousness is really important. Thing you do. Don't want to become so robotic and unique just for the sake of being unique that you forget the heart in everything that you do, and you forget the consciousness that you're doing it in. Issue will start. We really will start to see really individual, unique, interesting people come to the fore, and that will be in all walks of life and all in all different types of cultures, and whether that be through music or fashion. The eccentricity of the energy of Aquarius will start to blossom. I'm going to stop here. If you want to understand a bit more how this is going to work for you this year, find me on aquariusconversations.com and send me an email there. I am also on my podcast on Spotify with the same name, where we were talking specifically about work and relationships and how the energetic backdrop reflects what's going on. Bye for now.